The Mobley City Council to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Jeffrey?
Present.
Brubaker?
Yes.
Kimmons?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Kaiser?
Yes.
Thank you. Looking at the agenda for this evening, are there any corrections to the agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So move.
And a second? Second. It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Crane, any recognition of visitors?
Not at this time, Mayor.
All right. Moving on to communication, requests and information items. Number 2, a request from the Moberly Chamber of Commerce to hold the 2021 Christmas Parade on December 4th of 2021.
Yes, Mayor, this is annual Christmas parade. The Chamber is requesting December 4th. The normal route through downtown as the previous year. We're asking that this be accepted.
All right. Questions about this request? Anything you all would want to add? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the request?
So move.
And a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I skipped over the minutes from the last meeting. Everyone's had those in their packets. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes of the last meeting? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So move.
And a second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor
Aye.
signify by aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Minutes are approved. Okay, moving on to public hearing. We have number 3, receipt of bids for Tannehill Splash Park.
Yes, Mayor, we received one bid from Irvin Built for $599,700, and we're asking that this bid be accepted.
All right, questions about the bid? Mr. Kaiser, I'm
Kaiser.
sorry.
Is this a not to exceed, or are we expecting any price differences by the time they get started, or is this pretty much locked in?
This would be locked in unless there's something unusual that comes about, like a change order. But one thing about this company that Water's Edge emphasized, and some of it they included in the letter, is one, they have a long track record with Urban Built, 20 years long, and they're not known for nickel and diming on change orders.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, if there's no other questions, is there a motion to approve the bid?
So moved.
It's been motioned and seconded by Mr. Kimmons. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to number 4, an ordinance.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I have an ordinance authorizing 5 cooperative agreements for infill development and asked to be read for consideration.
All right, there's a motion for the reading of the ordinance. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First reading.
An ordinance authorizing 5 cooperative agreements for infill development with Three Brothers Construction, LLC.
Okay, you've heard the first reading. Any questions? Hearing none. Second reading.
An ordinance authorizing 5 cooperative agreements for infill development with Three Brothers Construction, LLC.
Heard the second reading. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Roll call, please.
Jeffrey?
Yes.
Brubaker?
Yes.
Kimmons?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Kaiser?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Ordinance is passed. Moving on to number 5, a resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution accepting the bid and authorizing contracting with Irvin Built Constructors Incorporated for the Tannehill Park Splash Pad. Ask for it to be read for passage.
All right, there's a motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution accepting the bid and authorizing contracting with Urban Built Constructors, Inc. for the Tannehill Park Splash Pad.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution is passed. Moving on to number 6, a resolution.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution approving a contract for the purchase of real estate and ratifying the execution of contracts on behalf of the city. I ask that it be read once for the consideration of passage.
All right, for the motion, for the reading of the resolution, is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution approving a contract for the purchase of real estate and ratifying the execution of contracts on behalf of the city.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
It's been motioned, and is there a second?
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution passes. Moving on to number 7, a resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution authorizing and accepting a change order to the energy performance contract with Energy Solutions Professionals LLC for a pavilion construction and solar arrays. Ask to be read once for consideration.
All right, you've heard the motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution authorizing and accepting a change order to the energy performance contract with Energy Solutions Professionals LLC for pavilion construction and solar arrays.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Are there any questions? Discussion, Mr. Davis.
Yeah, again, I'm a little concerned about the performance of the solar panels. And I noticed that this contract has a set rate for that they are considering the kilowatt hours, and that this will be if the solar panels don't perform as they're supposed to, that they'll be that we will be reimbursed at that rate. But my concern is what happens when we talked about solar panels in phase 1 and phase 2 with MC Power. They projected that the kilowatt hours rate would go up 3% every year, which over the course of 15 years could be a considerable difference in what we are paying for to replace that energy if we had to, and what MC Power was going to reimburse us if they failed. It looks like we're in the same position here, that we're not allowing for the inflation of the kilowatt hours. And I think that needs to be taken in consideration, maybe changed on this contract, that we'll be reimbursed with whatever the going rate for the kilowatt hours is if their solar panels don't perform.
Who wants to respond to that?
We can ask ESP if they'd be interested in that.
Well, here's my concern, Brian, is we're going to pay something like $35,000 a year for the panel and the solar panels and the pavilion over the course of 15 years. Is that correct?
Sounds right.
Okay. And in exchange, we're supposed to see a considerable savings on the cost of electricity through the solar panels. But if we don't see that change, then we're going to be paying that $35,000, plus we're going to have to go out and buy electricity from Ameren UE. Is that correct?
That I don't think is correct. They've got to guarantee the performance.
Right.
So
And it says in there, though, if you look, and it took a while to read it, but it says if they guarantee that the panels will perform at 95% of the projected rate for the first 5 years, and then the next 5 years it goes down to 90%. And I'm okay with that. But if you look at, I think it's Schedule F, it says that they will, if they have to reimburse us, they would reimburse us at the rate that they projected. I'll yield to Councilman Austin.
Mr. Kaiser.
If I recall, we had the same issue back with the first round with the existing solar panels. And I believe we requested the exact same thing that Mr. Davis is requesting, and they came back and accepted that. So I think we should expect the same on this contract as well.
So you're saying you understand it to be written into the contract?
Written in that whatever the
It's written in
existing,
now is what I'm trying to ask.
I don't want the hard amount that they have. I want it to be based on what the current rate is at that time. And we went through the same issue the last time, and they were agreeable to it. So I think we should demand the same thing this time.
But we're dealing with two different entities here, right, Brian?
Yeah.
We're dealing, it was MC Power that agreed to the
Oh,
first
I
time.
apologize. I thought they were the same company.
I mean,
No.
now
Okay.
whether or not
Well,
ESP will,
I would support at least asking.
So we can either wait and find out or approve with that amendment, and if they're acceptable, we can move.
I guess I had one question that wasn't that, but I guess it'd be for Mr. Bach, but this part of the agenda in this particular resolution also talked about the difference in the construction of what was going to be built, and what is, am I correct?
As far as the pavilion itself, right?
Well, from what the project was and what it is now, is that correct? So just in a real basic way, what is it we're not going to have as opposed to what we were going to have?
Well, the difference is the pavilion will be the same as far as the dimensions as it was previously, only it'll be 3 feet higher, but it'll still be the 80 by 110 building. The difference is the rest of phase 2 compared to the rest of phase 2 is off the table. So with MC Power, we'd initially planned 5 total projects. We're only moving forward this one solar project. So that's the difference between the previous agreement and the current one.
I see. So this particular program is only going to do that one project, but you're still talking about having your amphitheater and all that, because that's part of a commitment to Swift Foods, correct? That's where I'm getting kind of confused.
Correct. So the amphitheater will be another proposal coming before you all. We have to hold a process for that. That'll be a separate item.
Okay. I would be in favor of approving with that addition, if you want to call it that. Do you want to put that in some form of a motion, Mr. Davis?
yeah, I'm okay too, Mr. Mayor, with that. How do you want to do this? You want to, I'd be glad to make a motion to approve it with the stipulation that any reimbursement for power or the guarantee is reimbursed at
Market rate, I think is
at
what
the
you're trying to say.
current rate, or
Then market rate.
market
At the
rate,
then current market rate.
Okay.
at the current market rate.
All right, has everybody got that? Understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so,
I had a question regarding that.
Mr. Brubaker.
So if they're going to reimburse us, is that do you know if that's on a monthly basis or is that on an annual basis?
That would be if it fails to.
Right.
I think you go back, they look at the 2-year average. It's kind of complicated.
Yeah, they take the 2-year
Two-year
average.
average, and then if it doesn't meet like for the first 5 years, 95%, they reimburse us. And if it's the 2-year average, it's the current year and the year before, and they average it out.
So if it's on an annual basis, I guess where I'm going with
Yes.
this is the rate that you're referring to, like what rate, as of what date, or is that an annualized rate?
I think
Take
we
an
need
average, or
Say when they
To
come.
answer your question, I think it should be the rate that we lost power in, and that we had to go buy the power. In other words, we're not trying to, it should be cost neutral. That if we have to go buy that power at 17, 20 cents a kilowatt hour, and they're only reimbursing us 5 cents, they need to reimburse us at the 17%, at 17 cents instead of the 5 cents. Does that make sense?
yeah, I think it makes sense.
How did we do it in the previous one? I would be
Yeah.
okay with it, however you did it
That was
there.
the language.
Well, the previous one, you didn't calculate any loss of savings until 2 years into the contract. So there was no claim for a lost savings until you were 2 years in.
Right.
And then at that point, you could go back and if you didn't receive the savings that they guaranteed, then you applied whatever the rate was in that contract to whatever our loss or whatever the lack of savings was. It's not what we go out and buy it at. It's whatever savings they guaranteed us. And then you take that times whatever the rate is. That's how I understood the first one.
I didn't understand it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They would reimburse us at the current rate, market rate.
Well, no, what they're guaranteeing is savings, and so that's what they're going to reimburse us for is what they projected to be our savings and what we didn't receive in savings. It's not based upon what we have to supply the electricity at if we have to go out on the market. That's not the way the contract is written.
Are you talking about the ESP contract or the?
Well, I
NC?
understood them to be the same,
I-
geared the same way. Okay, so maybe we need to have ESP give us a little more information.
How about, I'd entertain a motion to table till we get something straightened out on
I
that.
second that motion, Mr. Mayor.
All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Consider that tabled to point when it's ready to be presented again. Because I don't know if you'll have that by the next meeting, will you?
We'll just have to have ESP come
Okay,
and participate.
all right. Moving on, number 8, a resolution.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution authorizing the 2021 Christmas parade route and ask it to be read for consideration.
All right, there's a motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution authorizing the 2021 Christmas parade route and public consumption of alcoholic beverages.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution passes. Moving on to number 9, a resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution of the City of Moberly, Missouri ratifying the execution and airport coronavirus relief grant program agreement. Ask for it to be read for consideration.
All right, there's a motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution of the City of Moberly, Missouri ratifying execution of an airport coronavirus relief grant program agreement.
All right, for the reading of the resolution. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned by Mr. Davis, second by Mr. Kimmons. All in favor signify by aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution passes. Moving on to number 10, a resolution.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution authorizing contracting with Cox McLean Environmental Consulting, Inc. for preparation of a historic preservation plan update. I ask that it be read once for consideration and passage.
All right, you've heard the motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution authorizing contract with Cox McLean Environmental Consulting, Inc. for preparation of a historic preservation plan update.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
It's been motioned, and is there a second?
Second.
Motion and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution passes. Moving on to number 11, a resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution adopting health insurance stop-loss policy and health insurance plan options for the City of Moberly, Missouri employees for the year 2022. Has to be read once for consideration.
All right, you've heard the motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution adopting health insurance stop-loss policy and health insurance plan options for the City of Moberly, Missouri employees for the year 2022.
All right, for the reading of the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Kaiser, second by Mr. Kimmons. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to number 12, resolution.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution of the City of Moberly, Missouri accepting 3 grants for the police department and asked to be read for passage.
All right, for the motion for the reading of the resolution, is there a second?
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution of the City of Moberly, Missouri, accepting 3 Missouri Department of Public Safety grant awards and 1 FEMA grant award, and ratifying the mayor's signature on all sub-award agreements.
All right, for the reading of the resolution, any further discussion? Hearing none. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution passes. That one's really long. I've been hitting here, the page down all through that. I'm still not through it.
I know.
So when we get through it, I guess I'll get to the next resolution. But so far, it looks like we're on number 13, a resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution of the City of Moberly, Missouri accepting a Missouri Department of Public Safety award and authorizing the mayor to execute an award agreement. Ask for it to be read for consideration.
All right, there's a motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution of the City of Moberly, Missouri, accepting a Missouri Department of Public Safety award and authorizing the mayor to execute an award agreement.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Kimmons, seconded by Mr. Davis. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution passes. All right, moving on. Moving on to number 14, resolution.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution approving an extension of a letter agreement with Jacobs Engineering to provide construction inspection services for the dam grouting project. And I ask that it be read once for the consideration of passage.
All right, you heard the motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Vote. First and only reading.
A resolution approving an extension of a letter agreement with Jacobs Engineering to provide construction inspection services for the dam grouting project.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Brubaker, seconded by Mr. Kaiser. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution is passed. All right, moving on to number 16.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
15.
I'm sorry, 15.
Sorry.
Switch the page. 15, who has 15?
All right, Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a letter agreement with Jacobs Engineering Group, Inc. for professional engineering services related to the Tanny Hill apartment project. It has to be read once for consideration.
All right, you've heard the motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a letter agreement with Jacobs Engineering Group, Inc. for professional engineering services related to the Tannehill apartment project.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, resolution passes. Moving on to number 16 now.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a letter agreement with Jacobs Engineering. Asked to be read for consideration.
All right, there's a motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a letter agreement with Jacobs Engineering Group, Inc. for professional engineering services related to a tracer study at the water treatment plant.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Are there any further questions? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution passes. Moving on to number 17, a resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution appropriating money out of the treasury of the city of Moberly, Missouri in the amount of $390,945.67. Ask for it to be read for passage.
All right, there's a motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution appropriating money out of the treasury of the city of Moberly, Missouri in the amount of $390,945.67.
I hereby certify that there's sufficient money standing to the credit of the city of Moberly, Missouri, unappropriated to cover the above fund. That's a little bit different verbiage there, Mr. Hodge. Anyway, any further discussion of the resolution? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution passes. That brings us to department head monthly reports. So we'll start paging down to that. I think the first department is showing community development. So from there, are there questions? Anyone? Nope. I guess I had a question for Mr. Sanders in the part that you're discussing on some development, all that. There's one of those in there that's talking about some apartments and so on. Which street is that going to be on? Where's that going to be located? Potentially located. I guess it's got to go to P&Z, but
51 unit one.
Is that the one with the townhouses?
It says 20 carport garages, 9 carports.
Yes, that one's being reviewed. That we had a proposal on that, so that would be coming to P&Z here future. That would be on South Williams.
Okay, that's South Williams. Okay. So what is it? Is that going to be? Well, I guess we'll just wait and see, because depending on the zoning. But I was just.
The main thing we were meeting on early was just kind of looking at the layout and any concerns that we had. We had initial plan review with staff, and we're looking at stormwater. Obviously, that's a big issue in that location. So that was one we wanted to meet with and make sure we had plans for that. And so I feel like they have a pretty good plan going forward. Once we see actual calculations, we'll know more of that to be reviewed by utilities.
Okay. Questions, anyone? Mr. Davis.
Follow up to the mayor's question. The one on South Morley and Urbandale, is that in the proximity of Nellie's restaurant?
Surrounds it.
It's around it? Is it?
Surrounds it.
Okay. It's not, Nellie's will not be part of it, that
No.
complex. Okay. Is it north of that? Of Nellie?
North and east.
North and east? Okay.
Kind of an L-shaped lot,
Yes.
isn't
It
it?
would adjoin Morley, so there's the jump stop, I forget what the car wash name is
Right.
there, but then there's storage buildings there and a private house. So just north of that on Morley and wrap around and tie back into Urbandale.
And that'll be the one that has multiple, different townhouses and?
No, that proposal is for duplexes, and so it's coming to P&Z. So,
Just duplexes?
yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Gimmon.
Is the Eagle Ridge, is that the one that's going to be on
That's the
the
one
other
that
side? That's the one we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Any other department? All right. Hearing none. Guess we don't have to have an approval of that. So is there anything else coming in front of the council? Does anyone here over any of the items on the agenda or something they want to bring to the council? All right, hearing none, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn to work session followed by a closed session. Is there a motion to
So
that
moved.
effect? There's a motion and a second. Is there a second? Motion and seconded. Roll call, please.
Jeffrey,
Yes.
Brubaker,
Yes.
Kimmons,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Kaiser.
Yes.
All right. So motion carries. We are adjourned from regular session, and we'll move on to the work session and take up the agenda of the work session for this evening. And first item on the agenda of the work session is number 1, Kenneth and Judy Penton to quit claim deed. So who has this one?
So,
Mr. Sanders.
and this is one of those properties where, we've been brought to us and requested where it's a dilapidated property. So how these usually end up is if we get them deeded to us at this point, yes, we're accepting that responsibility, but we can have a clear title to it, so it's quick to turn around versus one of those ones where you end up wait till it falls in, and we condemn it and go through that process, and we get it through collector's deed process at the end, they have to wait, and they have to do a quiet title to do any redevelopment on it. So we end up most of the times in the same situation. So it's just a matter of if you want a clean title to it where we can tear it down and get it cleaned off and hopefully get some infill development back in there.
All right, Mr. Thompson?
I was just going to note that the title work shows that there's no liens against the property, no
Yeah.
tax liens. So
We
that's
don't
different
either.
than some of the previous ones we've had.
Yeah. Any other questions?
What,
Mr. Brubaker?
what's the address of this one?
1300 Myra, yeah.
1,300.
Okay.
Yeah.
On a corner.
Yeah.
So it's a block off Concannon and Emerson, so it's not it's a fairly high traffic corner.
Okay. Anyone opposed to moving it forward to the next meeting?
No.
All right.
Could I make one comment? I hope that we're not setting ourselves up to get a rash of these. I mean, I understand the quandary we're in about what to do with it, but I mean, if everybody starts milking their rental properties and get everything out of it and then don't try to maintain them, and then at the end, they just want to turn it over to the city to tear it down and take care of it. I'm concerned that that's what's going to happen, that we're going to start getting that more and more. So, I mean, maybe we need to look at a legal approach to.
You can, and we do have a method where we can go after and pursue those, it's like where you can tear those down and then you can go after foreclose on it. What's the proper terminology on it? We
have a lien for it.
yeah, we have a lien set on it and then we can provide a foreclose on that, but you spend.
I understand, Tom. I understand where the problem we've got now. I'm just saying maybe if we could tighten up our inspections on these buildings and I'm just brainstorming it. It just seems like we're caught in a catch-22 on this. And that if maybe we tighten up our inspections and don't let the landlords get the property to the point where it's just worthless and they want to turn it over to us. I don't know if that's
I promise, I wish it was that easy. I do. We would love to be able to, have more upfront, and I think we have done a long ways on that, but our enforcement abilities is very limited. I mean, we want to bang your head against the wall. I mean, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd love to do more on that, but
Councilman Davis, I would submit that the reason we are having these is because we do have a tight occupancy inspection program, and it's creating this situation where it's harder and harder to rent out blighted structures because they know they're going to have an occupancy inspections. Most towns don't do that. So the city of Moberly, a few decades ago got into the occupancy inspection business, and now it's creating these situations where a home that, if there was no occupancy, could have been rented out for a long time. But now that we're getting in there on change of ownership or tenant, we're getting to see it and say, this isn't going to work. So that is what's, I think, driving a little bit of this. And then I would say also, to your point, we do both. So not only do we try to do this when it makes sense, but we also try to enforce liens when it makes sense as well. So we try to do it all.
Well, your point's well taken, Mr. Crane. I appreciate that.
Okay. Anyone opposed to moving it forward? Hearing none, that'll move forward to the next meeting, and we'll move on to number 2, discussion of Moberly engagement letter.
Yes, Mayor, we have quite a few properties around town that we've tried to acquire over the last few years. And then we're about ready to have quite a few easements on a few sewer projects related to the grants and bond issues. And looking at the workload, we thought it would be probably wise to have a special counsel come in here and take care of those processes, make sure that we're doing it appropriately and legally, and keeping Randall in a position where he can continue to oversee that and all the other functions of the city attorney's position.
And
All right.
in addition, those are going to be eminent domain proceedings, so there will be suit filed, and it will all take place in court, which is going to be a time-consuming process. Because the properties we've not been able to acquire means that we have to do it by eminent domain.
Right. Questions, anyone? Anyone?
The only question I had, Mr. Mayor, was the law firm that you're suggesting that we had experience with them.
Yeah,
in the
we've
past?
used them as special counsel in the past for quite a few, specific projects. So
Okay.
we just don't have any current agreements with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone opposed to moving that forward? Moves on to the next meeting. We'll move on to item number 3.
This is another deed one time. That's that one by South Park.
Same situations that we talked about before. This one happens to be just to the west of South Park School. 2 houses down from the corner there. So, I mean, it's be a good infill type housing development. It might be something the school might have interested in the future. I doubt it because it's on the opposite side of where they have their off-street parking. But it's one of those things where we'll likely end up tearing it down in the future, putting a lien against it, and waiting through a tax period to get the property back. So,
As kind of a related question, we've had one grant period, so we did receive, what was it?
$200,000.
$200,000 from government grants. Is that a program that's ongoing where you can go back to that over time, or are we done?
No, we're done.
Okay. But we did get that amount to defray the cost of what we've had to do today.
Yes.
Okay.
If I might add.
Mr. Kimmons.
I think one of the things that's encouraging to me is to see the infill projects. We had a number of them that have come up that were on our agenda earlier, but that's exciting. I mean, before we've just had to take these places, tear them to the ground, and they just sit vacant, and then we have to mow them.
I think the good thing you look for this is like both of the lots we mentioned are good potential infill development lots. And so right now, getting something back on those while the market is good for that. I mean, if we're versus waiting multiple years for them to go through tax bail, and the developer's got to spend $1,500 on a quiet title, and we probably still are not going to get any money out of it. It puts it back a better chance of getting that infill back and keeping that neighborhood in good condition because you've got a new house in there, plus what utilities are being utilized, tax rolls are back on there for a house, and the market's good for it right now. I mean, there's a good chance of getting the house back on it soon.
Anyone else? Sure. Anyone opposed to moving that forward? All right, now we'll move forward to the next meeting. Move to number 5, a discussion regarding a scope of services agreement with Bar Engineering Company.
We skipped 4. Did we skip 4?
What do we do?
Yes, I guess I did.
Oh, yeah.
Discussion of MC Power Maintenance Agreement, Solar Pavilion.
This one will move forward. So the operation and maintenance of our potential solar pavilion project is going to be maintained by MC Power like they maintain our other solar arrays. So we thought it'd be best to try to keep it with them. They're willing to do that as part of the maintenance agreement of all the other solar arrays. So we can move this forward, but if we end up not doing the solar pavilion project with ESP, we wouldn't need this either. So these kind of go together. So ESP is not in the maintenance business. MC Power is. So MC Power would just handle the maintenance on that solar pavilion.
Well, I guess we can approve it, and then if we do the other, then it's already approved.
Yeah, if we, I think you tabled the last one
I
to the
did.
next meeting, so this might hit at the same meeting as that one. If you move it forward tonight. And we will have a little bit of discussion tonight about MC Power Phase 1 in case there's any concern about using them.
I motion to table this one. And-
I don't think we have to on work sessions.
This is-
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We'll just hold it.
Just,
All right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then we'll go to number 5, a discussion regarding scope of services agreement.
Yes, Mayor, this is this came out of some of the discussion we've had with the school district about the stormwater detention in that area surrounding the school and that whole area. So Bar's going to do some review. If you go that next slide. Oh, wait, I must have had the order backwards. Go back one more. It's that, Morley to Gratz Brown and then Chevy
Right.
Brother Boulevard to Route M is the study area. And this will give us a better understanding of how we can potentially help and work with the school district at providing some stormwater solutions out there.
At the last planning and zoning meeting, there was discussion about that, and I guess I'm for doing this, but I guess I think we need to clarify, we're not holding up the portion of the survey that we need done for the school district area for this to be done before that, are we?
No, they have to do their own for their property. This is just in addition to their property.
I see.
Everything else that happens to go down that way will give us a better understanding. So we're basically taking care of a chunk of it, and then they're going to be taking care of the property and the complexes they're building.
Okay, so that won't hold them up potentially.
No.
Okay, anyone else, questions? And opposed to moving that forward? All right, hearing no opposition, I'll move forward to the next meeting. We'll move on to number 6, discussion of Mobley pavement and sidewalk study.
I'll just give a brief update on that. So we have been looking at this for some time. We have in the past had our own rating system where we've used our employees to rate the streets, determine the products and the needs, and then and I take that information, we try to budget, balance it against our budget we have as far as what's the best bang for the buck. So there are groups out there that will do electronic evaluation of our pavement systems. And then they also look at the products that we're happy with and what those costs are and our budgets. And then they look at what's the best way to utilize that funding towards the needs that we have and what to identify and target the best selection. So it's taking the individual out of that, but it also puts that information on our GIS system. And so it really just helps on our budgeting. We haven't had a long-term street master plan in some time, so this is going to be a good fill-in. So the way we looked at doing this was I met with multiple consulting firms after looking at their statement of qualifications and made some selections, and we started an initial interview some time back with IMS, another company, and we ran that through, and it was just beyond our budget. And so I met now with Trek, and we went through several qualifications and went through what we want to look at. And so we have a plan that was within our budget and will serve our needs well. And so I just wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit tonight, kind of a short presentation of what they're proposing and some things that I think we need to add on besides just the streets. While they're doing that out there, they can also capture our sidewalks, which we need for our transition plan for ADA, as well as inventory our curb and gutters. And those would be just beyond what our budget is, but they're willing to delay that, gather the information now. And so I don't want to steal all their presentations. So tonight, Stephen Edwards from Shrek and Mike Classen. So I'm going to let Stephen come up and give a presentation on that.
All right, you're going to make sure the microphone's on there. Welcome.
I'm usually pretty loud, so I don't know how much is needed.
Well, we want to
Can
make sure
everyone
it
hear
shows
me?
up for our electronic signals.
All right. Hello, Stephen Edwards. I'm a senior design engineer with Trek Design Group. So we've kind of broken the scope of this project up into 2 items: a pavement assessment and developing a pavement management plan, and doing a sidewalk assessment and developing a ADA, kind of a light ADA transition plan for the public right-of-way facilities, pedestrian public right-of-way facilities. So I always use presentations because it helps me stay on track. But So the purpose of it is to kind of work on those two items.
Bear with us.
Oh, it's cool. So prior to working for TREC, I worked for the city of Memphis for years.
Is that the-
So I
is
was
that the
a
one you wanted?
transportation administrator there.
Is this the one you wanted?
No, sir. That is one from a website that kind of gives you information about
Oh, okay.
paving.
He's got
systems.
another one. I guess you will have.
It's it should be a PDF that you pulled in.
Okay.
Well, this is about the company, Trek. We're based out of Kansas City. We have offices in Columbia, St. Louis, a lot of other fun places. You can go ahead and proceed. I won't take up everybody's time. This is what I was talking about, the pavement assessment, the sidewalks, is kind of the purpose of the plan to get those two items moving. The ADA transition plan is an important step for everybody because a lot of your federal funds are all tied into the ADA transition plan. So as you're applying for money from MoDOT or applying for money from USDOT, without a transition plan, a lot of that money is going to be on hold until you can show that you're progressing with one of those plans. Proceed, sir. All right, so this is talking about the pavement assessment portion of the project. We'll have crews come in, they'll drive all the roadways. We have a visual AI system and different sensor systems on our trucks, so we'll be able to read the condition of the roadway. They'll go down to collect all the visual data. There's an AI system as part of the visual tool that will then rate all of the pavement areas. If you proceed, sir. So it will analyze all the results and it puts it into a web-based platform. And so that web-based platform will also be available for you to put onto your website, and all your citizens will be able to go on and they'll see all the locations and they can actually click on little dots and they can see the specific areas and what that rating is and what the roadway looks like at that point. You can get on and you can visually drive the section anytime. So anybody's got to have access to the system and be able to see and understand kind of what's going on. A lot of these things are a little bit difficult for you when you're spending money on something to get everybody to buy in. So this has a lot of public applications where the public can get in and see and understand the systems. And then this is talking more about the share with the community, so the overall mapping system here. So the sidewalk side, you're looking at the pedestrian facilities. You're going to be able to identify all the places where the sidewalk is missing. You'll be able to identify any place where you have obstructions in the sidewalk. Anything that's like a non-compliant ADA ramp, if you're missing an ADA ramp at a location, we'll also be looking at your traffic signal systems to make sure that it's all up to current pedestrian signal systems. So that will kind of take in the breadth of everything you need for ADA transition plan for your public right-of-way. Some other considerations, we're going to look at historical data to make sure that we're understanding the current conditions. So we'll have a understanding of the current conditions from the paving assessment program, but the historical data will give us an understanding of like how you built your roads over time to understand how they may crumble and fall apart over time. It will also look at any type of planned construction projects. If you have a planned construction project, typically you have utility cuts as part of those construction projects. So as you're paving your streets, you want to develop a plan that's not going to pave the street right before you have a utility cut along that street also. So you'll look at the utility work, you'll look at all the planned construction, and then be able to develop a plan a little bit more robust for that. We'll also do a peer review of other paving plans and ADA transition plans. That way you have something to kind of back up the information that's provided to you and you have a good understanding of everything. All this will be downloaded into GIS, so you'll have a GIS tool that will be available to staff and whoever else we want to make it available to go in and keep track of the system. You'll have a scheduled 5-year plan of everything that will be paved And the other item that we're kind of adding into this is over the first year on a quarterly basis, we'll come back in and assess. That way, if you have a construction project that pops up that you don't know about, or if there's any other changes and decisions within the community during that time, we can adjust the system and help the staff understand how to use the system and make sure that everything's working and functioning for that full first year. I do talk fast, but not usually this fast. I'm trying not to take up all your guys' night. If you please proceed, sir. This is getting closer into the public involvement side. We'll have separate public meetings on the pavement assessment and conditions to let everybody understand the actual assessment process, the pavement management process, and how this saves you money. And we'll have another meeting on just the ADA transition plan. You have to have separate public meetings and have public comment come back in for your ADA transition plan to be accepted by the state and by FHWA. We'll also have certain things built into your website, the embedded map from robotics, an interactive map for public comment so people can respond if they believe that a street has a different condition than what's rated in the system, then they can respond on that. We can have a different look at that to make sure that it all fits within the public perception. And then you'll have a survey for public comments that will go out to make sure that we're getting in viable comments from different people. You don't always have everybody show up at a public meeting. So you have to get some different ways to make sure that you're getting that public endorsement. The pavement management plan itself, go ahead and proceed. This is a website that's kind of an educational website, so I used it to provide a lot of information here. But it goes through, you have all these different systems that can help you preserve and maintain your pavement. Traditionally, what you would do is you would go through your system every 15 to 20 years, mill the entire surface, and then lay down new asphalt. The system would typically, by the end of the life cycle of that roadway, would be falling apart, having lots of potholes, not in very good condition. A lot of cities can't even keep it on a 15-year cycle. That amount of money is growing to do that, and with the amount of work that's coming up with transportation, that's probably going to exceed even more because the scarcity of goods is going to increase because you have so many people doing major road projects with the new infrastructure bill that it's going to get harder and harder to find materials and laborers to do a lot of this work. So you then go back in, you take the pavement types, and you're able to determine ways that you can preserve that. So you put a new top coating on it, whether it's microsurfacing, slurry seals, there's all different types of options based off of the scale of that rating. So if you have something that's like below a 40, that's something that needs to be rebuilt if you're using a 100-point scale. So there's different scale systems. If you have something that's in a 60, then there's a certain type of method that you can use, like chip sealing or using crack seals and then chip seals, things of that nature that can hold the street together. If you have a little bit better quality, then microsurfacing every so many years can keep that. And you can extend your pavement life out to a 40, 50-year cycle without having to do full repaving. That will typically lower your budget and overall, so your annual budget on paving will go down and your actual pavement quality will go up for an extended period of time. You proceed, sir. This treatment resource center on this goes through all those different selections of the different types. Go ahead, sir. And then you have tools to compare treatments. You have the life cycle cost calculator on this site is kind of going through that specific information. So if you gentlemen want to look up any of this and spend time nerding out to technical data about paving, it's real fun. But the top line on there, the bottom line doesn't come out very well, but that's actually a conventional system. And the top line is a modified system using some type of pavement maintenance. And what you have in the green line is actually the savings over the life cycle of that pavement. So in that case, it's over $29 billion that you're saving over the length of that roadway. And there's also some greenhouse improvements and things like that. So you have some certain environmental improvements over the life cycle. Proceed, sir. This goes through, is a remaining service life calculator. And this is another one. We can go ahead and pass this, sir. So this is the ADA transition plan. It's getting into, we'll look at developing funding scenarios to identify how to get the plan implemented, building a schedule of things that need to be done, and then having the GIS map open for people to see when certain improvements should happen within the system. And those things can all be rolled into your full ADA transition plan as the city moves towards that. And that would be all. Does anybody have any questions? I'm sorry I talked so fast, but I wanted to leave this more up for a discussion. I just didn't want to start off without any information.
Mr. Kimmons?
If I heard correctly, this is user-friendly enough that the general public could get on and see, one, how we came up with the streets we're gonna work on, why they got in the position that they're in the queue. And so it gives them a better understanding of where we are and how we're getting to take care of their street, I guess.
That is correct. That's kind of one of the best parts about all of it. Like, these are things that are typically, people honestly don't want to spend the amount of time to try to figure this stuff out. It's not all that difficult to get into minutia when you get into super details, but it's something that's really easy. Somebody can click right in front of their house and they'll understand what their street is like. And we can provide access to that other website's an open free website that was developed as a joint agreement with different agencies, like paving agencies and then different transportation agencies to develop that tool to help the public understand how paving systems really work. And so it's something that's really, really simplistic.
And if I understood, I mean, you're gonna do background and history and workup that we don't have people or time to do.
That is correct. Yeah, I mean, our focus with Trek would be to be an extension of the staff here. We would be a tool for the staff to use and to build kind of a good assessment system so that you have a pavement management system, but you can start building an asset management system for the city. As was mentioned earlier, we can also start looking at curbs, identify where all your curb locations are. We have LiDAR fleet. We have mobile and aerial LiDAR systems. We can start identifying everything. We also have a technology called 360, Trek 360, where we can drop cameras into your sewer system and get 3D models built out of that system and let you be able to analyze everything down in the sewers, in any type of manhole, any underground electrical systems. We have lots of really fun, nerdy techie guys who like to build things. So we have lots of fun tools.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
My pleasure, sir.
Anyone opposed to moving that forward? All right, so that'll move forward to the next meeting. That concludes the agenda for this evening. Is there anyone here for anything else in front of the council for the work session? All right, hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
And a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you all for coming.